All right, so get this. We're going to deep dive into a free online tool, songperformer.net.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it looks like it's for musicians or anyone you know who's learning about music theory.
Neat.
So we've got excerpts from a document, highlighting some of the key features.
Okay.
And a screenshot of the tool.
Right.
And it seems like it's got a ton of features.
Oh, wow.
So let's see if it, lives up to the hype.
Yeah, that's a good question. Does it actually do all the things it says it does?
Exactly.
Interesting. So it seems to be kind of this dual thing. It's both a performance tool, a learning tool.
Right. So it started as a performance tool.
Okay.
For musicians and actors to use on stage.
Uh-huh.
But now they've added all these features for learning keyboard and fretboard.
Oh, wow.
And the craziest thing is it works on any device with a browser.
Okay.
You could even use it with VR headsets.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Imagine practicing scales.
Yeah.
And feeling the fretboard in a simulated environment.
Oh, that would be super helpful.
Right. That level of immersion could really, help with muscle memory.
Definitely.
And make practice more engaging.
For sure. For sure.
Huh?
So let's talk about those learning tools then.
Yeah, they have a section called Music Theory and Magic Spells.
I love that.
Me too. And the screenshot shows a keyboard, a fretboard, the circle of fifths, and a chord table.
Okay.
And it's all color-coded.
Oh, cool.
So you can see how everything connects visually.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do wonder, though, if that could be maybe a little overwhelming.
Okay.
For someone who's just starting out with music theory.
That's a good point.
Yeah, there's a lot of information on the screen.
Right. It could be a bit much all at once.
Huh?
But maybe they have settings to adjust how much information is displayed.
Oh, okay. Well, let's dig into some of the features.
Yeah, let's see what they offer.
Okay.
So first up, you can select a root note.
Okay.
Or even 2 root notes.
2 root notes. Interesting.
Yeah, to see how they relate to each other.
Okay.
And then you can choose to display scales, modes, or chords.
Gotcha.
And it visualizes them on both the keyboard and the fretboard.
Oh, wow.
Simultaneously.
That's cool. So you can really see it in different ways
Exactly.
at the same time.
That's pretty neat, right?
It is. It is. What I find especially helpful is you can customize that display to suit your learning style.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, for example, you can choose to see note names on the fretboard.
Okay.
If that helps you visualize the relationships.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or if you're more comfortable thinking in intervals, you can switch to that view.
So adapt to different levels of understanding.
Exactly.
I like that. So what about the circle of fifths?
Yes, the circle of fifths.
That's always been a tricky concept for me.
Well, this tool, I think, really brings it to life in a way that static diagrams just can't.
How so?
Well, it's interactive, so when you click on a root note, the entire circle of fifths updates.
Oh, wow.
Along with the chord table below it.
Okay.
So you can literally see how everything connects.
That's awesome.
And changes based on your selection.
So it's like watching the musical dominoes fall into place.
Exactly.
Suddenly, it's not just an abstract concept.
Yeah.
You're seeing those relationships unfold right before your eyes.
I think that's really powerful for songwriters. To understand chord progressions and experiment with different keys.
Right. And it takes the guesswork out of transposing music.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the customization.
Okay.
It seems like there's a lot of settings.
Yeah, there are.
Which is great for tailoring the experience.
Definitely.
One thing that stood out to me is you can switch between left-handed and right-handed fretboard orientation.
Oh, that's a really thoughtful detail.
I thought so too.
It makes it accessible to more musicians.
For sure.
And it shows that the developers considered, a wide range of users.
Yeah, for sure. And you're not limited to just guitar.
Oh, really?
They have options for bass, mandolin, banjo.
Wow.
Even ukulele.
Okay.
So you can explore different instruments.
Oh.
And visualize the scales and chords.
Yeah.
All within the same interface.
That's really cool.
Talk about expanding your musical horizons.
That is pretty amazing.
Right.
And you said they even have alternate tunings.
Yeah, for each instrument.
Oh, wow.
So if you're a guitarist and you're, messing around with open tunings for blues or slide guitar,
yeah,
you can see how those tunings affect the positions of notes and chords.
Wow. This is way more than just a simple music theory tool.
Right.
It's like a whole learning platform.
It is.
Disguised as a performance aid.
Exactly. And the best part?
What's that?
It's completely free.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
No ads, no subscriptions, no hidden fees.
So it seems like it must be a real passion project then.
Yeah.
From this musician and developer who wants to share their knowledge and make music theory accessible to everyone.
Exactly. They even have like a little coffee donation button.
Oh, that's nice.
If you want to support their work.
Yeah.
But it's totally optional.
That's really cool. It sounds like they're doing this because they love music.
Yeah.
And they want to help others learn and grow.
Exactly.
So let's think about how this all relates to our listeners out there.
Okay.
Have you ever struggled with learning music theory?
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts on how a visual tool like this could have helped you back then?
That's a great question. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, we'll dive deeper into that in the next segment.
So stay tuned. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit.
Okay.
And think about the bigger picture.
Right.
We've been talking about the features of songperformer.net.
Right.
But what are the implications of a tool like this?
Well, one thing that comes to mind is the potential impact on music education. Like, imagine classrooms where students can explore scales and chords in this, immersive, interactive way.
Yeah. It's like taking those dry textbooks.
Right.
And turning them into like a video game.
Yeah.
Instead of just memorizing facts, students can actually see and hear how music works.
And it's not just about classrooms.
Oh.
Think about, songwriters
Yeah.
collaborating remotely and using this tool as a common language
Interesting.
to communicate musical ideas.
It's like having a universal translator for music.
Exactly.
No matter what instrument you play
Right.
or what language you speak, you can connect with other musicians through this shared understanding of music theory.
And because it's so accessible,
Right.
it could really empower people of all ages and backgrounds to discover the joy of music making.
It's like democratizing access to musical knowledge.
Exactly.
Anyone with an internet connection can unlock the secrets of music theory and start creating their own music.
Who knows what kind of creative explosion that could spark?
Right. Now, to play devil's advocate for a moment,
Okay.
some people might say that relying too heavily on a visual tool like this
Yeah.
could actually hinder the development of other musical skills,
Okay, like what?
like ear training
Okay.
or intuitive playing.
Oh, so it's like using a GPS all the time.
Exactly.
You might get to your destination, but you don't develop your own internal sense of direction.
Right. So it's important to remember that songperformer.net
Yeah.
should be seen as a complementary tool,
I agree.
not a replacement for those foundational skills.
It's like having a set of power tools in your workshop.
Okay.
They can definitely make the job easier,
Right.
but you still need to know how to use them effectively.
It's about finding that balance,
Mm-hmm.
using this tool as a springboard
Right.
to launch your musical exploration,
Yeah.
but not becoming overly reliant on it.
So bringing this back to our listeners,
Okay.
we've explored the features, the benefits, the potential impact. We've
Mhm.
even addressed some concerns.
Right.
So what resonates most strongly with you?
Yeah. What are your initial thoughts and reactions? And here's a follow-up question.
Okay.
If you had access to a tool like this when you were first learning music, do you think it would have made a difference in your journey?
Yeah, would it have accelerated your learning?
Right.
Sparked new creative ideas?
Or maybe even inspired you to pursue music more seriously?
These are great questions to think about as we move into the final segment of our deep dive.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground, exploring this songperformer.net.
We have. It's pretty clear that it's a powerful tool with real potential to change how we learn and create music.
Yeah. And it really shows how technology and music are coming together.
Definitely.
Yeah.
As we think about the future of music learning,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder,
What's that?
are we going to see a shift towards more interactive and visual approaches like this?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
But it seems likely that technology is going to keep playing a bigger role in music education.
Right. And tools like this could be leading the way.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, how traditional methods adapt.
Right. Will they coexist?
Exactly. Or will one replace the other?
That's a good question.
It is. And that's what I love about these deep dives.
What's
It's not just about presenting information.
Right.
It's about sparking that curiosity and encouraging our listeners to think critically.
For sure. So let's leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about the benefits of understanding music theory.
Right.
But what about the other side of that?
Okay.
What might you miss out on
Yeah.
by not understanding music theory?
It's like exploring a huge, intricate landscape, but without a map.
Right. You might stumble upon some interesting things, but you're probably going to miss those hidden gems
Yeah.
and the deeper meaning behind what you're seeing.
And music is full of those hidden gems.
It is.
And layers of meaning.
So understanding music theory can really unlock a whole new level of appreciation.
Right. And it allows you to connect with music on a much deeper level.
It's like learning the secret language
Okay.
that helps you communicate with the composers and musicians who came before you.
That's a great way to put it.
You can understand their musical messages and really grasp the intricacies of their craft.
And who knows, maybe songperformer.net can be your guide on that journey of discovery.
Give you the tools and knowledge you need.
Right, to unlock those secrets and start your own musical adventures.
So whether you're a seasoned musician or just starting to explore the world of music, we encourage you to check out songperformer.net.
Definitely. And see what it has to offer.
It might just spark a passion you never knew you had.
And remember, learning is a lifelong journey.
It is.
And music is a language worth speaking fluently.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
We'll see you next time
For another exploration of fascinating topics and thought-provoking ideas.